Hard sports all plays. Hard sports all plays. Hard sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Hard sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Hard sports all plays.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show. Wednesday, November 1st, 2023. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez. Got a pretty decent slate of games today. A couple games I'm interested in tonight just because it's teams I root for. But get back to yesterday. Yesterday, I went 4-4.
I went 3-3.
Had the Rangers right. Central Michigan beat Northern Illinois, which really surprised me. So I missed that one. I had one college football right, one hockey game right, and I had one NBA game right out of the three NBA games. The Suns ended up losing. The Cavs lost. But the Clippers pulled that out. But the Spurs ended up beating the Suns by, I think, a point last night. That kind of surprised me.
Yeah, that was a little surprising. Knicks killed Cleveland.
Yeah.
I, of course, had Texas right in the Major League Baseball, and had the Clippers right in the NBA, and I had Vancouver over Nashville. I lost the other three. Toronto took a beating from the Kings last night.
Yeah.
But
I was surprised. At the was the Knicks. Who did they play?
Knicks and Cleveland.
Yeah, I was surprised the Knicks beat the Cavs as bad as they did.
They beat them pretty bad.
That surprised me.
Well, pretty interesting night last night. What'd you think about the firing in the NFL at 1:00 in the morning Eastern?
It didn't surprise me as much as that they fired him, because I thought he was getting close to being I figured he was on the hot seat and getting close to being fired. So, I mean, the firing wasn't as big a surprise. Now, the timing being that late, which I guess 2 o'clock in the morning was that Eastern time? Because if that's Eastern time, that's
10 o'clock their time.
So, I mean, I guess it's not real late their time, but
it's still a weird time of night to fire.
I figured it'd be done a little earlier in the day, but
I
mean, if you look, I think they gave McDaniels a lot of control, and he's made a lot of decisions that haven't worked out. I think the main reason Derek Carr wasn't there no more is McDaniels really didn't like Carr, so he wanted to move on. They brought in Garoppolo, who I'm going to say that's who that McDaniels wanted. And maybe because maybe that was who he thought was best that was available. But you bring those guys in, and then now you have Devontae Adams, who's not happy. The team just hasn't performed. The offense hasn't looked good at all. Jimmy G can't stay healthy, which has been part of his problem his whole career. But then you also have Jimmy G. I mean, he missed missed Devontae Adams a couple times the other night in that game on Monday night, wide open.
Yeah.
So he's missing throws. I know you had mentioned earlier that there's a rumor that Adams went to him and said either me or him. I don't know if there's any truth to that or not. I know Adams was disgruntled. I have heard earlier, I think like a month ago, maybe, I don't know, a few weeks ago, that Adams did meet with the Raiders and said, "Hey, do you think maybe it's time that we part ways, mutually part ways?" And Vegas said, "No, no way, we're not parting ways with you." He didn't demand a trade, but I guess he kind of put it out there like, "Hey, do you guys think this isn't working? That we need to just part ways and move on." I don't think the owner wants to do that. Okay.
I don't know if Carr would be the answer in Vegas either, but he's more of an answer than what Garoppolo.
Carr had him in the playoffs 2 seasons ago. McDaniels comes in. They've been losing ever since.
That's true.
I'm not saying Carr's the greatest quarterback, but Carr had good seasons there in the Raiders. I could say, yeah, okay, Carr's doing the same shit in New Orleans. I can put a lot of that on New Orleans on the head coach. Let's put that on Allen. What Allen do when he was with the Raiders? Now, Allen took over a team that with Sean Payton. Yeah, they went in the Super Bowl. Didn't win the Super Bowl last few years, but they were competing and in the playoffs. Allen takes over. The only difference is you don't have Drew Brees no more. They've been trying to find a quarterback. That offense hasn't looked good until they played the Colts. Of course, the Colts defense made them look like fucking all pros. I'm not saying Carr's the top level quarter. I'm not saying he's the greatest quarterback, but he's better than Garoppolo.
Yeah, I know what Damian's saying to a certain degree, but they're 4-4 right now. Carr's been hurt also. What if he comes back and they win 6 or 7 games?
I'm not saying Carr's the greatest, but Carr's better than Garoppolo. To ship Carr out of town to bring in Garoppolo, to me was it didn't make no sense. If you were going to bring in a guy, you're getting rid of Carr to bring in a guy like Garoppolo. There's no reason to get rid of Carr. Now, if you're getting rid of Carr and you're bringing in a better quarterback,
Aaron Rodgers, something like that. Yeah,
you're bringing in a better quarterback. Okay, hey, go ahead and get rid of Carr. But especially when you brought in a receiver, the whole reason Adams came to the Raiders was because of Carr. So you knew once you got rid of Carr, that was going to hurt that relationship, especially your relationship with Devontae Adams, especially if you don't bring in a competent quarterback that's going to keep things going, and Garoppolo hasn't been able to do it there. I think most of it wasn't. I put it on McDaniels because we saw what McDaniels done as a coach in Denver. Now he's came to the Raiders, and we're seeing a down spiral. So I put it more on the head coach. I think where the Raiders messed up, and I said this the other day, was not getting the Bisaccio or whatever. Might not pronounce his name right, but not getting him to stay.
Yep.
That dude had that team playing hard. They had him there right at the playoffs, and then you move on from him for McDaniels. I think I'd have kept him. The locker room believed in him, and I think that'd have been the better hire than what McDaniels was.
And you think that's why the general manager lost his job because of he's the one that brought that one of McDaniels?
Might have.
That's what I kind of figured for both of them to go.
And honestly, you never know what the owner of the Raiders either. I mean, that dude's kind of out there and do some crazy things as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there.
Before we get to the picks, I was going to also ask you real quick about what you think about the free agency.
Free agency. Oh, trade deadline?
Yeah, trade deadline. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, trade deadline.
I thought it might be a little busier than what it was. It surprised me that Washington traded both Sweat and Young. I could have seen maybe trading one of them. I could see maybe trading Young. Young hasn't had a great year. He hasn't looked the same since he's come back from that knee injury. But Sweat's having a good year. Dude's getting to the quarterback.
Pro Bowl year.
And
awesome.
And he's on an expiring contract. So if anything, if you couldn't work out a long-term deal with him after the season, you could have franchise tagged him for a year and tried to work out a deal with him. But to get rid of two pass rushers like that in the middle of a season where Washington's not great, but they're also not terrible. No. To me, it kind of sends a message to your team like we're cleaning house, and no one's safe. So that surprised me they got rid of both of them. It wouldn't have surprised me if they'd have got rid of just one, but trading both of them, and especially how much Chase Young has failed at. What they get for him, a third or a fourth round pick?
Third round pick.
They got a second round pick for Sweat, so they got more for Sweat than what they did Young. And if a few years ago, if you had said that, people would have thought you'd been crazy because Young hasn't been the same from that injury. I think Sweat's a real good pickup for the Bears. Yep. I think that was a smart move by the Bears. Which, I mean, they still have a lot of things they need to figure out. But I think Young's a good pickup for the 49ers because the 49ers don't need Young to come in there and be a star. All they need, if Young can come in and just play decent, that's going to give them some more depth at that line. But the 49ers have to figure out what's going on. I mean, Nick Bosa only has like 2.5 sacks on the whole season. They just ain't been able to get that defensive line going. And they get that defensive line going. I think that's going to change a lot for them, especially since they've lost 3 in a row. Trying to think who else got moved yesterday. I wrote some of them down.
One that I thought was kind of interesting. It's not a big move necessarily.
Peoples Jones
went to Detroit from Cleveland. That was a little bit of surprise.
I was surprised Detroit didn't try to get a pass rusher. Yeah. I was surprised they didn't try to get Sweat, or maybe they did. Maybe they tried and just didn't make a good enough offer or whatever. But you thought that, because that's the one position I thought they would be trying to improve a little bit, would have been a pass rusher.
Yeah. The one I thought was a little interesting was Dobbs going to Minnesota. I thought that was kind of interesting. He's not played that bad for Arizona. I mean, I think he's better than a lot of the guys that's out there that might replace Cousins. I don't know if they plan on playing him. I know they're not playing him this week. They're playing somebody else. And they also got that one guy, Mullis, I believe his name is, that's coming back from injury. So I don't know if he'll get to play, but
I think from what I heard, there was a chance he might play this week.
Oh, really?
But that they plan on definitely playing next week. But I'd heard there was a chance that Dobbs might start this week, depending on how well he picked up the offense. But hell, he picked the offense up real quick there in Arizona when he got traded there. So if they don't play him this week, I think he will be the starter probably next week. One reason that really didn't surprise me what the Arizona trade him was because Murray's getting ready to come back. I didn't know if they were going to play Murray this year. That was the only thing. I didn't know if they were going to bring Murray back, what they're going to do. But with them trading him, that to me that means they're getting because Murray's been healthy and been practicing the last week or two. Yep. So I'd say Murray's getting ready to come back, and Dobbs. Hey, he played good. He's played decent there in Arizona, earned himself an opportunity there with the Vikings to at least for probably the rest of this season, unless it just don't go well and they decide to put somebody else in. Yep. I mean, when you're in the Viking situation, you had to try to find somebody. I mean, you had one that got quarterbacks that's playing. Hey, you had one of the quarterbacks that's playing best. I mean, he's playing right up there as one of the best QBs in the league so far this season. Cousins was. I know a lot of people don't like him, but his numbers. I mean, he was playing good football. And of course, now you get this, and it's a bad time for Cousins because you're a free agent. Damien says, "Are you shocked that D Hop and Henry stayed in Tennessee?"
I wasn't.
No, I wasn't shocked.
I mean, I think you keep those guys and you see what. I mean, Levis had a heck of a game his first game, and see what Levis is going to do. I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, if you're going to move on from them, I think it'd be after the season. But I didn't think you'd see them get traded for it. If any, I think you had a better chance of D Hop getting traded for than Henry, because there's some teams that was looking for receivers. But this time of year, a lot of teams don't have that kind of the kind of money that some of them players want. Yeah. See, Damien, I don't think Gannon's done that bad of a job there in Arizona for his first season. Not having your regular starting quarterback, Arizona's actually been better than what a lot of people thought they would. So I think he'll get at least another season before Arizona moves on from Gannon. Murray probably getting ready to play Call of Duty. Hey, never know. I know he likes that Call of Duty. All right. Well, tonight, was it game 5? Yeah, game 5 of the World Series.
Yep.
Rangers are up 3-1.
Yep.
After they just jumped on the Arizona Diamondbacks quick last night in that second and third inning, scoring 5 in the second and 5 in the third.
How do you feel about these coaches who want to put a pitcher in for 4 or 5 batters and then move on to start the game? I don't understand that. Maybe I'm old school. I don't understand. They put another pitcher in and it just completely fell apart. Next thing you know, they've given up 4 or 5 runs.
Yeah, they are 1-7, but if you look how they've been competing competitive wise, they've been more competitive in games this year than what a lot of people thought they would be without Kyler Murray at quarterback and the talent they have on that team. That's why I think he'll get at least another season. He might not. I mean, I'm not saying that the Cardinals are great at all. I'm not a Cardinals fan. My son he's a big Cardinals fan, but I've watched some of the Cardinals games and they've had chances to win some other games and been competitive. And where a lot of people didn't think they were going to be competitive
and
at
they're
all.
Playing with a backup quarterback.
Plus, and not just him. I think one thing with these teams, if you're going to bring in a new coach, you got to give him time. One season, that's just like the Colts are what, 3-4?
I think so.
Very easily could be only have 1 or 2 losses. But okay, if the Colts finish 3-14 on the season, everybody's going to say, well, we need to fire Steichen. We only won 3 games. He's terrible. No, that'd be stupid. Yeah. Because you got to give a guy a chance to get in there, get his culture in the building, get the players, get some players that he wants in there, and then see what happens. You got to give a guy at least, I think, 2 or 3 seasons. And now, you don't get me wrong. You get some teams that give coaches way too long, and then you get these other teams that don't give coaches no time. I mean, a few years ago, everybody was blasting Arizona because they fired Steve Wilkes after 1 season. Now we think that Gannon should already be gone. He ain't even had a whole season yet. I mean, you got to give guys time. It's not going to happen if you're a bad team. Usually, you're a bad team if you're getting a new coach. It's a lot of time. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you get a new coach in there and it turns around real quick. But a lot of times it takes a season or 2. Look at and I think that was part of it too. I think the owner wanted them to start O'Connell, and that McDaniels came out and said that this isn't preseason anymore. That's why because somebody asked him why he didn't put O'Donnell in over Hoyer, and he said this isn't preseason, and
he's no longer there.
And Hoyer's not Hoyer. I mean, Hoyer's has experience, but he's never been great in the NFL. I mean, we had him he played for the Colts that time and threw 6 interceptions in a quarter and a half. Glenn said that some Colts Facebook fan groups think if we lose to Carolina, we should tank. You got to keep playing. But main thing with the Colts right now is their defense. They got to figure out defense out. You can't be scoring 30. You can't be getting up 38 points a game on defense.
Turnovers.
I mean, the Colts are the only team in the league that has scored over 20 points every game this season. Our offense hasn't been the problem, and that's with the backup. That's with the backup quarterback and a rookie quarterback. I mean, but our defense. I mean, hell, we put up 38 points on what everybody was saying was the best defense in the league in Cleveland, and what happens? We give up 39. Then last week we make an offense out of New Orleans that has been pretty much mediocre all season. We made them look like an all-pro offense. Yep. And we scored 27 points as an offense, and we lose. I mean, right now our defense has to figure it out.
And I know we've had some turnovers on offense, but a lot of people's going to blame the quarterback on that. But some of that's been blindside hits and stuff. I mean, again, I'm not taking up for him.
No, we had to cut the turnover, and we cut the turnovers down this last game, and our defense still gave up 30-something points. So I mean, you can't blame that on this game. Now, that Cleveland game, we had 4 turnovers. That put your defense in trouble. So, I understand.
That was scored 38 points.
Yeah, but I understand the defense giving up more points because we put them in
short fields
in trouble with all the turnovers. But like against New Orleans, I think there was 1 turnover. The whole made them look like Manning, Marvin, and Reggie Wayne. Yeah, they made them look good. All right, but World Series tonight, Rangers look to close it out. like you said, they jumped out on him early. But no, to your question, I hate that they do that. Why does he even start the guy if you're only going to let him face 4 or 5 batters and then pull him? Don't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Sure didn't work out last night.
Yeah. But Rangers are 1.5 run favorites tonight. Game is basically a pick 'em on the money line. Both teams are at minus 108. Over under is at 8.5. I think the Rangers are going to close it out tonight. Rangers have been tough on the road. Haven't lost a road game in the playoffs. Set a new postseason record for most road games won in a row. I think they close it out tonight. If they don't close it out tonight, I think that I still think the Rangers are going to win this series. I don't see them losing 3 games in a row. But I think the Rangers closed out tonight. So I'm going to take the Rangers on the money line. You have Eovaldi on the mound for the Rangers tonight. He's 4-0 in the playoffs with a 3.52 ERA. You're going to have Gallen on the mound for the Diamondbacks. He's 2-2 with a 5.27 ERA throughout the playoffs. So I'm going with the Rangers on the money line tonight in the World Series game.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going with Texas. I think they close it out. It is super tough on the road, and yeah, I think it's all Texas tonight.
See, Damon says he still has Arizona in 7. Hey, I said actually on Sunday I said I thought this would go 7
I thought
games.
it would go 7 too.
But I had the Rangers, but yeah, the way it's looking now, I think it's going to take quite a bit for one thing that Arizona does have on their side is no Garcia,
Yep.
and of course no Scherzer, but not having Garcia in that batting lineup can help you. But then you saw what they done last night.
That guy last night.
No, Seager's been pounding the ball, man.
Well, the guy that took his place in right field.
Yeah,
I know the first 2 times up, delivered. So, I guess the only thing you can hope for if you win tonight, you're going back to Texas, and Texas ain't played great in Texas. I guess that would be the only thing Arizona could hope for.
Yeah. I mean, they got to go in looking at it one game at a time. You got to win tonight's game, or there is no game in Texas. So they got to see if they can figure it out tonight. College football got some more action going on tonight. You had a couple of MAC games tonight. First game is Ball State against Bowling Green. Bowling Green's a 5.5 point favorite, minus 205 on the money line. Ball State is plus 168 on the money line. Over unders at 38.5. It's kind of weird because Ball State beat Central Michigan last week, and then Central Michigan turned around and beat Northern Illinois, which was one of the better teams in the MAC. Ball State's 2-6 on the season. They're 1-3 in the MAC. Bowling Green's 4-4 on the season, 2-2 in the MAC. But I like Ball State tonight at the plus 5.5. If you look at these teams' numbers, they're real similar. Ball State actually has a little bit better of a defense, and their offensive numbers are real similar. So I'm gonna go with Ball State at the plus 5.5. I think it's going to be a close game, no matter which team wins. Don't get me wrong. I hope Ball State can pull out a victory tonight against Bowling Green, because of course Ball State is located here where we live at. But I'm going Ball State to plus 5.5. Like I said, I think it's going to be. I think this could very well be like a 3-point game. The other game is Kent State at Akron. Akron's a 3.5 point favorite. That's actually changed because it was 4. They're minus 188 on the money line. Kent State is plus 155 on the money line. Both these teams are 1-7 on the season, and both of them are 0-4 in the MAC. So somebody's going to get their second win of the season tonight. I'm going to go with Akron at home at the minus 3.5. I think Akron's a little bit better team than what Kent State is, and being at home, I think that home field advantage is going to help them. So in college football tonight, Ball State plus 3.5 and Akron at the Ball State plus 5.5. Excuse me, Akron at the minus 3.5.
I didn't do any college. I'm just not interested in 2 games.
Okay, and then NBA. Got pretty big slate of NBA games tonight. My first game is going to be Milwaukee Bucks at the Toronto Raptors. The Bucks are 5-point favorites. minus 196 on the money line. Raptors are plus 164 on the money line. Over-unders at 224. I'm going to go with the Bucks at the minus 5. Next game, and I have a little bit of a caveat on this game because I've been looking and I haven't been able to find out for sure. Glenn might know. It's the Pacers at the Celtics. The Celtics are 11.5-point favorites, but the Pacers had 3 guys that I'd seen yesterday that they were game time decisions for today. One of them being Halliburton. If Halliburton plays, I like the Pacers at the plus 11.5. I think 11.5 is way too many. I've looked 2 or 3 times today, looking it up, trying to find information. Haven't been able to find out if he's playing, but because it was Mathurin, Halliburton, and Jalen Smith were all, I guess, like going to be like game time decisions or for today. I think Jalen Smith was a sprained knee. Excuse me. I want to say Mathurin with a wrist.
Glenn thinks he's going to play,
and I forget what Halliburton. Yeah, I think Halliburton's going to play. I'm not too sure on the other guys, but so I'm because my gut feeling is Halliburton's going to play. I'm going with the Pacers at the plus 11.5. I think the 11.5 is too many points. And even without, even if something happens, Halliburton don't play with the depth we have. I still think we can be competitive in that game, but I feel a lot better if Halliburton's on the court. Other game is going to be Denver Nuggets at the Minnesota Timberwolves. Nuggets are 2-point favorites. I like the Nuggets at the minus 2. And then my last game is going to be the Mavs at the minus 4 at home against the Chicago Bulls. So I'm going to go with the Bucks minus 5, Pacers plus 11.5, Nuggets minus 2, and the Mavs at the minus 4.
We almost got the same picks, Chris, for the NBA, except I didn't do the Mavs. I got Milwaukee minus 5 at Toronto. I got Indy plus 11.5 at Boston, and I got Denver minus 2 at Minnesota.
Damien says Tannehill is benched. Levis is starting tomorrow.
Yeah, that don't surprise
me. Was Tannehill benched, or was he still trying to come back from the injury? But I figured they were going to start Levis Levis tomorrow anyway.
Not the way he played. How do you not?
Let's see, NHL. I went with 2 games tonight. I'm going with the Dallas Stars on the money line against the Calgary Flames, and then I'm going with the Arizona Coyotes on the money line over the Anaheim Ducks. That's going to be my 2 picks for the NHL tonight.
Almost same picks there. Except I did 3 games. I got Dallas money line at Calgary. I got Arizona money line at Anaheim. And I got St. Louis at Colorado. I'll go with the Avalanche money line. So them are my NHL picks.
And Glenn said they probably won't announce it till about 6 o'clock tonight. Schefter tweeted he's okay, so he was still ruled out because of injury. I wasn't for sure, but I think if Levis plays good again tonight, it might not matter if Tannehill gets healthy or not. They might keep him in if he keeps throwing the ball like he did the other day.
Yeah.
I saw a bunch of Colts fans. I told everybody we should have took Levis instead of Richardson. I'm like, that's easy to say now that Richardson's hurt out for the season and Levis plays one game. But he had a good game. It's easy to say after something like that. I think Richardson's going to be good for the Colts if he can get where he can stay healthy. That's going to be the key with him right now. He has to get healthy.
I think Levis may do well with Tennessee. I think Richardson's going to do well with the Colts. I think Jacksonville's got a hell of a quarterback. I think our division's going to end up having 3 really good quarterbacks. And also the Texans. He's looking good.
Texans, that's Stroud.
That's Stroud. He's looking good. So that'd be 4. I think we could have 4. Well, I'm talking about Jacksonville's quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have 4 really strong quarterbacks possibly in that league.
Hey, Glenn, I was hoping they wouldn't take Levis, but hey, if Levis ends up being good, he ends up being good.
I didn't want Levis. He's straight up honest.
Hey, how's it going, Billy? All right. Well, do you have anything else before we?
No, we gotta let everybody know that no interview tonight because we had advertised
Hey,
that.
you guys stop. Yes, I did advertise. Put out a graphic last night that we were going to have Blake Money Right on tonight, 8 p.m. That has been changed. We're still going to have Blake Money Right on, but it's going to be tomorrow. It's going to be Thursday, November 2nd at 9 p.m. Eastern. I'll be putting out a post on social media here shortly to let everybody know that. But Glenn said he must be getting another spray tan. Laughing.
Yeah, Glenn was
Uh,
teasing about that
yeah.
last night.
But yeah, he sent me a message, said, hey, something came up. Hey, it's not going to work for tonight. Can we do tomorrow? So we're going to do it tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Should be an interesting interview. He just won another championship on Sunday. I'll let Mark. I ain't gonna say the other because I'm gonna let Marcus ask that. But he's been on a roll. Been traveling all over the place wrestling. I know he's been wrestling a lot with former Impact. Was he a world champion? Elgin.
Yeah, he's been world champion, big in the ring.
Been in the ring with like all the world champions that you see in WWE and stuff.
Yeah, he's been all over the world.
Yeah, dude, and I've got to see him a couple times in the last month. Dude is real good. I know Blake's been wrestling with him a lot. I'm pretty sure Blake is getting ready to go. We're gonna wrestle each other in Detroit here coming up. I remember right.
Elgin's better than some of the people that are making big money on the big stage right now. I mean, he really is. Some things happened, some bull crap happened. He got canceled. I guess that got taken care of. He's on his way back, and hopefully, he'll be back on a bigger stage soon. Oh man, he's
talented guy, real talented guy. And from the times I've got to talk to him here last, like I said, last couple weeks, been real respectful and always been real nice and outgoing to me. So I don't have anything bad to say about the guy.
No, seems very interested in giving back to the wrestling and helping the younger guys. Sure, he wants to further his career too. Now, that he's.
Well, that was one cool thing that I noticed, and I told you about it, was seeing him in the back sitting there talking to the younger guys, and because you and I'm not saying bad things about anybody, but you see, there's some guys that won't do that. There just aren't. And then there was even a promoter that made a post on his social media about how gracious Elgin was with his time and talking to that promoter and helping that promoter with ideas and maybe things how to make things better with his promotion and stuff. So it's like I said, I've been real impressed with the guy. Looking forward, actually going to get to see him wrestle again this Friday, actually against Blake Money Right. So
and it's going to be off the charts.
Got to see him like about a month ago. Yeah. Wrestle each other. I'm going to get to see that rematch this Friday night. Speaking of this Friday night, if you're in the Lafayette, Indiana area, come check out DCCW. Of course, I'm not going to be on Flexing on Muscular Dystrophy. That's the name of the show. Yeah. I was trying to think of the name of the show. Doors open at 5. Bell time is at 7. It's at the Tippecanoe Fairgrounds in Lafayette, Indiana. We will be there. Not sure. I'm pretty sure we'll be live. It depends on if we can get internet or not. If not, we'll be putting it back out. They got an awesome card. It's for a great cause. I know we're going to have a special guest, Sam Mitchell, who's doing commentary with us, who's done some commentary with us in the past. But yeah, it should be a good night of wrestling action.
You got Devon Dudley going to be there. You got Victoria, who was in the WWE also. You got two great guests there, and then like you said, just a phenomenal wrestling card. So should be a lot of fun. Should be really good. I know you can get bleacher tickets starting at $10. Front row seats are $50. There's some in between too. I think they even have some tables available for $350, and some things are included with that. You can go to the DCCW website, contact Jared Bird or Scott Hewlett for ticket information and stuff too, and what's available. But it should be a great show.
And also get to see another installment of the JKO and Ladies Man Mike King feud.
Yo, man, that feud's never going in.
What was it? Some kind of cactus. Neon cactus.
Street fight. It's going to be a street fight, I believe. So that's going to be all over the place. It's going to be nuts. So Always love it when them two go at it. Who knows? Maybe Owens will take over our show again, or maybe Mike King will take over our show. You never know with them two, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep. Join us Friday night for that. Like I said, tomorrow night, Thursday night, we'll have Blake Money Right, 9 p.m. Eastern. And I know we have some other big interviews coming up.
Oh yeah, some great ones. One of them, well, all of them is going to be great, but one in particular.
November 7th, we'll have Brody Botkins.
Yes,
that'll be next Tuesday, and then on next Thursday we'll have Justin Terrell going to come on and talk about his big retirement match at AACW.
Yeah, but the interesting thing with Brody is that he is right now in Texas training with Dustin Rhodes at Dustin Rhodes' camp and school.
And he's going to have a guest with him, another guy. I don't have the guy's name yet. That's why I didn't mention his name yet. But that's another guy that's training down there with Dustin Rhodes. He's going to come on with Brody as well. So that should be pretty cool as well.
Yeah, it should be really interesting. So.
But before we get out of here, I'll go over my picks real quick. My record on the year is 570 and 443. World Series tonight, I'm going with the Rangers on the money line. College football tonight, Ball State plus 5.5, Akron minus 3.5. In the NBA tonight, Bucks minus 5, Pacers plus 11.5, Nuggets minus 2, and the Mavs at the minus 4. And in NHL tonight, Stars money line and the Coyotes on the money line.
Okay, my picks for tonight, Major League Baseball, I've got Texas money line over Arizona. They're going to win the World Series tonight. I've got in NBA, I got Milwaukee minus 5 at Toronto. I have the Pacers plus 11.5 at Boston, and I got Denver minus 2 at Minnesota. In my NHL picks, I've got Dallas money line at Calgary. I've got the Arizona Coyotes money line at the Anaheim Ducks, and I have St. Louis at Colorado. I'll take the Avalanche money line. So them are my hockey picks for tonight, and everybody have a good night.
All right, we appreciate everybody watching. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room. Like and follow on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room as well. Also, go check out the ASAP All Sports All Plays Network on all social media. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow right around 3 o'clock with another episode of Easy Money, a sports betting show. Enjoy the sports tonight, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.